Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. This time, we're taking a look at recycling art workshops. For our listeners out there interested in starting a business, this is one that really stands out. It combines creativity and sustainability, which are both getting so much attention these days. Basically, these workshops show people how to take things we usually throw away and turn them into art, crafts, or even useful stuff.
Yeah, it's a really neat idea, and it seems like it's getting more and more popular.
Like turning, let's say, scrap metal into sculptures. Or what about bottle caps into jewelry?
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah,
Or even old newspapers woven into baskets. Those are cool.
exactly. And the best part is with this business idea, you're not just making cool things, you're actually helping the environment too.
Definitely. More and more people are starting to care about, well, about living more sustainably, right? They want to cut down on their waste and be more eco-conscious.
So it's like, it's not just a hobby. This could actually be a business with some serious potential. So what would you say are some of the biggest reasons why this idea is becoming so popular?
Well, I think it's really tapping into a lot of trends that are just exploding right now.
Yeah.
You've got upcycling.
Oh, yeah. Upcycling is huge.
Yeah, it is. And then there's a whole DIY culture, people wanting to make things themselves. And then you add in the fact that people are starting to value experiences more than just buying stuff, you know?
It's so true. People are looking for something different.
Yeah. People want to learn new skills, they want to be creative, and they want to feel good about what they're buying.
Right, totally. So it really does sound like everybody wins in this situation. But let's break this down a bit. Let's say you're someone who's actually thinking about starting a business like this. What would be like the very first things you'd need to do?
Well, I think the most important thing right off the bat is to figure out who you want to teach, right?
Okay. Yeah, target audience. That makes sense.
Exactly. Who's your ideal customer? Are you going to be focusing on families with little kids? Or maybe people who are already really into crafting? Or even businesses, like for team building events?
Oh, yeah, I could see that. Team building or even schools.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, each of those groups, they have different needs, right?
Yeah.
And they're interested in different things. They've got different skill levels, too. So you'd have to plan your workshop so that they really fit the people you're teaching.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like you wouldn't teach a class of kindergartners the same way you would teach a group of adults who are already pretty experienced with like sewing or whatever. So, okay, so you figured out who you're targeting. What kind of workshops would you actually offer? Like, what are some concrete examples?
Okay, so let's say we pick a specific example. Let's say upcycled fashion from denim,
Okay, I like that. Denim. Everybody's got old jeans lying around.
right? And that upcycled fashion thing, that's super popular these days. And denim's pretty easy to find, so you could, teach people how to make, like, totally unique denim bags.
Okay, I could see that.
Or how about patchwork quilts? Using all different colors of denim.
I love those. Those are beautiful.
Yeah, they are. Or even jewelry. You can make some really interesting stuff with denim. And the cool thing is you're teaching people valuable skills, they get to be creative, and they're promoting sustainable fashion at the same time.
I really like that. You're giving such specific examples. It's not just like, oh, make something out of denim. It's here's exactly how to make this specific thing using these particular techniques.
Yeah, you have to give people some direction, right?
Totally. Okay, so you've got your target audience, you've got your workshop ideas. What about the materials themselves? That seems pretty important for this whole thing to work, right?
Yeah, the materials are like the heart of this whole business, right?
Hmm.
So for denim, you could do a couple of things. You could partner with local businesses, like maybe clothing stores or tailors.
Oh, to get their scraps.
Yeah, exactly. That way you'd have a constant source of denim.
That's a good idea.
Or you could even encourage people to bring their own old jeans.
Hmm.
That way they can really personalize their projects.
Oh, yeah, I like that. It would make it even more special.
Yeah. And then if you need like bigger quantities, you could maybe work with textile recycling centers. They'd probably have tons of denim just waiting to be turned into something new.
I'm really liking this idea of people bringing their own materials. I think it would make them feel more connected to the whole process.
Oh, totally. Makes it more meaningful.
So, okay, we've got the materials figured out, but where would you actually hold these workshops? Do you absolutely need to have your own studio space, like right from the beginning?
Not necessarily. You could start by renting out a community hall or something. Or maybe partner with places that already have space, like maybe schools or art centers.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, you could even do workshops outdoors, if the weather's nice. The main thing is you need to pick a place that's easy to get to, that's safe, and that has enough space for the number of people you're going to have and for the kinds of projects they're going to be doing.
Okay, so you don't necessarily need to invest A ton of money up front to get this going. That's good. Speaking of investment, what about tools and equipment? Like for that upcycled denim workshop we were talking about, what would you actually need to have on hand?
Well, for a basic denim workshop, you definitely need sewing machines. Like a few of them.
Of course.
Yeah. And good fabric scissors.
Yeah.
Sharp ones.
Gotcha.
And then obviously needles and thread. And lots of different colors. Oh, and special sewing machine needles for denim. You need those too.
I didn't even know there were special needles for denim.
Oh, yeah, there are. Makes it a lot easier to sew through all those layers.
Okay, good to know.
You might also want to have fabric glue on hand. And then safety equipment is super important, especially if you've got beginners in the class.
Like what kind of safety equipment?
Well, thimbles are good to protect your fingers.
Right? Makes sense.
And then if you're going to be using rotary cutters, which can be really helpful for cutting fabric, you'd want to make sure you've got those with safety guards on them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Safety first.
Exactly. And then you might want to have fabric markers or paint on hand, too, if people want to get really creative and add some designs to their stuff.
You know, it's funny. You get so excited about the actual project that sometimes you forget about all the, practical stuff, like the safety equipment and stuff.
It's easy to do,
Yeah.
but it's really important to make sure everyone's safe, you
Yeah.
know? So you got to give people clear instructions, show them how to use the tools properly, and then, really supervise them, especially when they're using the sewing machines or any sharp tools.
Safety first, for sure. So, okay, let's talk about money. How do you figure out a good price to charge for these workshops? You've got to cover your costs, but you also want to make sure that people can actually afford to come, right?
Yeah, that's where things can get a little tricky, but it's definitely doable. You have to do some research and figure out what other workshops in your area are charging.
Okay. Like, see what the going rate is.
Yeah, exactly. And you also have to think about how much the materials are costing you, and then, all the time you're spending planning and teaching the workshop.
Okay.
And then, of course, you have to think about, about what your audience is actually willing to pay.
So it's like a balancing act, I guess?
Yeah, it is. You want to make a profit, but you also want to make sure that people who are interested in this stuff can actually afford to participate.
Right, right.
So there are a few different ways you can do it. You could just have a flat fee for each workshop, or you could do package deals where if people sign up for multiple workshops, they get a discount.
Okay.
Or you could even have like a sliding scale, based on what people can afford to pay. And free introductory workshops are always a good way to get people interested.
Oh, yeah. Free stuff is always a good draw.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a good way to get people in the door and build some buzz about what you're doing.
So those are all good ideas, but how do you actually get people to sign up? Like, what are some good marketing strategies for a business like this?
Well, social media is huge these days. You can post before and after photos of your upcycled denim projects, and that'll really catch people's eye.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, you can highlight the whole sustainability aspect, and you can use hashtags to reach a wider audience.
Oh, yeah. Hashtags. Those are important.
Yeah, you got to use the right ones.
Yeah.
It's all about getting the word out and making sure people know about your workshops.
And those before and after shots, I think that would really grab people's attention. Seeing those transformations, from a pair of old jeans to something totally stylish and new.
Yeah, I think you're right. Visuals are key here. You want to show off all the cool stuff people can make, really highlight those creative possibilities.
Yeah, for sure.
And, another thing you could do, you could reach out to those fashion bloggers, the ones who are already talking about sustainable fashion, maybe even some influencers who are into that sort of thing.
Oh, that's smart. Partnering up with people who already have a following, especially in those eco-conscious circles, or maybe the crafting community.
Yeah, exactly. That could give you a lot of credibility right away.
Right.
And get you in front of a whole new audience.
It's like instant exposure.
For sure.
Yeah.
And don't forget about getting involved in your community. That can make a big difference.
Oh, yeah. Like how?
Well, you could set up a booth at local craft fairs,
Okay. Yeah.
or maybe offer workshops at community centers,
Yeah.
partner with schools even, and do some educational programs. I mean, anything that gets your name out there and shows people what you're all about.
So it's all about making those connections with people who, who get it, who are excited about this whole idea of turning trash into treasure.
That's it, exactly. Find your people.
All right, so let's shift gears a little bit here. Let's talk about the people who actually come to these workshops. What do they get out of it besides, the finished product?
Well, it's more than just crafting, right? Like, they're learning about recycling and about how to make less trash in their own lives. It really makes them think about the impact they're having.
Right, like the environmental impact of all that stuff we throw away. especially clothes.
Yeah, especially textiles. And they're learning about ways to give those things a new life instead of just sending them to the landfill.
So it's like they're being creative, but they're also making a conscious choice to be more sustainable.
Exactly. Plus,
Mhm.
there's that feeling you get, when you make something yourself, and it actually turns out good. It's really satisfying.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely a sense of pride in that.
It's like, whoa, I made this, and it's cool.
Yeah.
And it came from something that somebody else thought was garbage.
It's empowering, I bet.
It is. And it makes people think, oh, maybe I'm more creative than I thought I was. It really boosts their confidence.
And what about the social aspect? I mean, these workshops seem like a great way for people to meet other people who are into the same things they are.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a little community.
Right.
People are learning together, they're sharing ideas, they're helping each other out with their projects, they make friends.
It's like a social club, but with a purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. Not everything is always sunshine and roses.
Right, right.
Every business runs into some bumps in the road. So what are some of the challenges you might face running a recycling art workshop? And, what can you do about them?
Oh, yeah, good point. I mean, it can't all be easy, right?
Right. Well, one of the biggest things is making sure you have enough materials. If you're just relying on donations or whatever you can find, it can be hard to keep up.
Yeah, it's not always reliable.
Exactly. So it's really important to build those relationships with suppliers, like those businesses and recycling centers we were talking about before. That way, yeah, you'll have a steady stream of stuff coming in.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to have to cancel a workshop because, oh, sorry, we ran out of bottle caps or whatever.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's the whole safety issue, especially when you're working with, tools.
Yeah, like sewing machines.
Yeah, or sharp things.
Yeah.
You have to make sure everyone knows the rules, that they have the right equipment, and that you're showing them how to do everything safely. And, really keep an eye on everybody and make sure nobody's getting hurt.
Yeah, that's super important. Safety always comes first.
Always. And then another challenge is making sure everyone feels welcome and included, no matter what their skill level is.
Right, because some people will be beginners and some people will already know a lot about this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you've got to offer workshops for different levels and make it clear what each workshop is about.
Okay, so people know what they're getting into.
Right. And then it's just important to create that positive environment where everyone feels comfortable asking questions and trying new things.
I can see how that could be a challenge, trying to cater to all those different needs and interests. It sounds like you really have to be flexible, adapt to different situations.
Yeah, that's key in this business. You have to be able to adjust to different people, different needs, and even different materials. Like if you can't find a certain type of material, you might have to get creative and figure out a substitute.
That's a good point. So you can't be too rigid.
Nope. And then there's marketing. That can be tricky, especially when you're trying to reach a very specific group of people, like, people who are into crafting and also care about the environment.
Right, you're not trying to appeal to everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to use a mix of different marketing tactics, both online and offline, and really target your message. And those partnerships we were talking about, with the influencers and all that, that can be a big help there.
So it sounds like to be successful in this business, you need to be creative, obviously, but you also need to have some serious organizational skills and business sense too, and be a good problem solver.
Yeah, that's all part of it. But, it's what makes it so interesting and rewarding. You're always learning, you're always facing new challenges, but seeing people take those old materials and turn them into something beautiful and useful, and knowing that you're helping the environment, it makes it all worthwhile.
That's awesome. Okay, so let's look ahead a little bit. Where do you see all this going? What's the future of recycling art workshops?
Oh man, the
Yeah.
possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see technology playing a much bigger role.
Oh, really? Like how?
Well, think about 3D printers. Imagine using recycled plastic to create all kinds of custom design objects.
Wow. Yeah, that would be cool.
And what about virtual reality? You could use that to teach people different crafting techniques no matter where they are in the world.
It's like blending the digital world with the hands-on world of making stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to think about. And then there's the whole idea of circularity, where the waste from one project becomes the material for another. So it's like a closed loop system.
It's like taking upcycling to a whole new level.
Exactly. And I think we're going to see a lot more collaborations too, like artists working with makers, working with recycling experts.
To come up with even more creative ways to use recycled materials.
Exactly. Like imagine workshops where you learn how to take apart old electronics and turn them into art or jewelry.
Wow, yeah. I've seen some really cool stuff made from old circuit boards and things like that.
Right. Or how about workshops where you learn to make natural dyes from food scraps?
Yeah,
You could use those to dye fabric for all kinds of products.
that's a really neat idea. So it's like pushing the boundaries of what's possible with these materials.
Exactly. The only limit is your imagination. And then I think we'll see more partnerships between recycling art workshops and social enterprises.
What does that mean?
Well, you could offer job training programs for people who are struggling to find work. Yeah,
Oh, that's a great idea. Give them valuable skills.
exactly. Or you could partner with organizations that are working to protect the environment.
So it's not just about making art, it's about making a difference in people's lives and in the world.
That's it. It's about using creativity to make positive change.
And it seems like this whole business model is inherently sustainable, like it's built to last. What do you think about its long-term viability?
Oh, I think it has a bright future, for sure. People are only going to become more and more concerned about the environment. And this is a way for them to actually do something about it. They can reduce their waste, express themselves creatively, and have fun at the same time.
So it's a business that really aligns with where the world is headed, towards more eco-consciousness.
Exactly. And the great thing about it is it's so adaptable. You can always be evolving, using new materials, trying new techniques, keeping up with the trends.
So it's not like it's going to get stale or outdated.
Nope. It's always changing, always growing. And at the end of the day, it's all driven by passion. People who start these workshops, they really care about sustainability and they want to share that passion with others.
Yeah, you can really feel that enthusiasm.
For sure. And it's inspiring to see, people taking their values and turning them into action, building businesses that are actually making a difference.
It's a good reminder that we all have the power to change things for the better, even in small ways, like one upcycled project at a time.
That's a great way to put it. It all adds up.
As we've been talking about all this, I keep thinking back to our listener, the learner. They're all about learning new things, but they want to do it efficiently, right?
Right.
And they love having those like aha moments, discovering new ways to look at things.
Yeah, definitely. This is right up their alley. This kind of business, it really speaks to that desire to learn and grow.
It's like hands-on learning, but with this added layer of purpose and sustainability too. I mean, for someone who loves learning new skills, this has got to be pretty appealing.
Oh, for sure. And don't forget the problem-solving aspect of it all. When you're working with materials that aren't, brand new out of the package, it forces you to get creative.
Yeah, it's not like you can just follow some set of instructions, right? When you're dealing with like salvaged materials, you got to figure things out as you go.
Exactly. It's all about adaptability and ingenuity. And for the learner, that's part of the fun, I bet. It's not just about mastering a technique. It's about finding those creative solutions when things don't go exactly as planned.
And I bet those aha moments, they're even more satisfying when you're working with upcycled materials. Like you're not just making something cool, you're taking something that was destined for the trash and giving it a whole new life.
There's a real sense of accomplishment in that. It's like you're not just creating something, you're contributing to a solution for a real problem.
It's like activism through creativity.
Exactly. And for the learner, who's all about making a difference, that connection can be incredibly motivating.
So if you're listening out there and you're our learner persona and you're looking for a business idea that really checks all the boxes, creativity, sustainability, constant learning, making a tangible impact on the world, well, this might be it, right?
This is it. It's a business that feeds your mind, your soul, and it's good for the planet too.
Well said. Well, I think that about wraps up our deep dive into recycling art workshops. It's been really inspiring, and I hope our listeners out there have gotten a lot out of it.
It's been a pleasure. And, whether you decide to take a workshop or try some upcycling at home or even start your own business, we hope we've sparked your imagination.
Remember, there's treasure everywhere you look, even in the things we often throw away. So keep learning, keep creating, and keep making the world a better place. Until next time, everyone.